Today, our discussion is centered around quitting. Like, you're a quitter. I'm gonna quit. Whether we realize it or not, that's a scary psychological, emotional term and concept in our lives when it comes to thinking about it, accepting it, embracing it, and actually implementing it. Sometimes we quit when we shouldn't, when there's miles more to go, when there's abilities and capabilities left in us. We quit because of our anxieties, because of our predictions and entitlements and expectations, or for whatever reasons. But on other days, we go on miles past the lines when we should have quitted, like beating a dead horse, carrying on down those routes which were long exhausted, with significant impact on our confidence, our health, our mindset, and our relationships. And for that reason, I really want us to talk about this term and this concept and this huge thing that surrounds us so that we can really start to understand, embrace, and master it more in our lives. When do you quit? Should you quit? Okay, I'm sure you agree with me that there's not one single topic or area of our lives where quitting is out of the question. Not in relationships, not in employment, not in education, or not in anything that you can imagine that you embark on. Okay, we aim for the best, we put in our best. But down the lines, somewhere, we get to those cross points where actually sometimes the best thing is to quit. But because we see quitting as failure, we see quitting as waste of time and energy and everything that we have invested in those projects and places and things and people, we carry on beating those dead horses, breaking our souls and our hearts and our determination and our will to live just because we do not want to be seen as failure, quitters, losers. And ultimately, we lose more in some of those cases than what we aim to protect. I think it's about time that we start to say it's actually okay. And that sometimes quitting is the best thing, is the sensible thing, is the intelligent thing, is the diplomatic thing. You know, like that soldier who goes on to war, brave and capable, but gets to a point where they know that retreat is the best thing for their army. That marching on in those conditions, whether they are conditions of weather, conditions of abilities, of numbers, that captain realizes that to preserve their crew, to preserve their army, to preserve their resources, they need to retreat for now and armor up, okay, and heal and regroup before they go back and win that war. And as serve leaders and individual armies on our own journeys of life, we need to embrace the idea of quitting more. But how? How do we know when quitting is winning? Because that's the thing that makes us carry on into ruin. One of the things that will guide you to be able to know when or how or where to quit in projects, relationships, engagements, and employments will be the impact on you in terms of health. How is that impacting you? Okay, how are you feeling consistently about that thing? I'm not telling you to make some impulsive decision in a moment of anger or frustration around that thing. Quitting at that point is actually failure. That's one of those moments when you must not quit, when you're in the heat of emotions, when you're in the middle of challenges, and quitting is because of anxiety or fear or actually frustration around the lack of progress or success of that thing. That is the definite time when you must never quit on an engagement. But the best time to quit is when you've given it rational thought, when you've persisted and committed and given it everything that you know, and it's still not going as expected. That's when you can have that reflection and realization that actually this is not one of those projects that's going to be successful for me. I'm going to learn the lessons and I'm going to put this one to bed. Okay. This is not that relationship that is going to enhance my life and bring a contribution to my happiness. It's beating me down. It's breaking me down in terms of identity and emotions and just the connection with this person. I've tried, I've communicated, I've reflected, I've mediated, and it's not going anywhere. If you are in a toxic relationship, if you're in a toxic employment situation, if you have those projects that have taken more of you than you ever dreamt to give, then the fact that you're still running down those roads, that's the actual failure. That's the actual shame. Okay. Success, winning in those instances will be running for your life, running into peace, seeking joy, seeking other fulfilling avenues, trusting in you because you brought yourself that far. You've learned the lessons. You're going to go away in retreat, in diplomacy, and recover and heal and armor up and go back to war at the right time, for the right reasons, and with the right momentum to follow it through to the end. Have a lovely day and embrace quitting, but be clear with yourself to make sure that you're quitting at the right time and for the right reasons.